All right, Lewis, we live. Thanks so much for taking out some time.
Thank you.
I want to go through um the evolution of Tigger for you. Like, when
Yeah.
did you find out that you were playing him? Like, give me from the beginning, like what was your process?
Yeah. So it was quite a long process, to be fair. So I got the role back in July last year. And then the guy said, so basically I got the role, and then within about a week, I had to go and get my prosthetics fitted. So I got that all fitted, and that took about 45 minutes to get fitted. And it's like a mold of your head sort of done. And then once that was done, they said basically it's like a month until you're on set. So I think it's just like the end of July. And then by the end of August, we were on set filming. So I knew I had a month. So I thought, right, that's not that long actually to prepare for like this sort of character. So I thought, what's the best time to sort of, what's the best way to spend that time? So I thought, right, what I could do is watch a load of horror films and sort of, as an actor, think what scares me as an actor, and just watch like every horror film I can, try and fit them all into this month, and then just take away. Do you know what I mean? Just take away from these like, other horror icons. So Reese, the
Was.
director, he already sent me like inspiration. So he sent me like Art the Clown, so the Terrifier films. Freddy Krueger was massive inspiration. Pennywise as well. So I sort of watched all those guys. Then I got obsessed. So I watched like all the Friday 13th, Evil Dead Rise, all of them. Do you know what I mean? And sort of, and I
So
actually had like a notebook full as well, like notes I was making from these characters, of like what they had in common and what can I implement into this character. And then also, as well as I was doing that, I was also sort of working out stuff for myself and thinking, I also want to make this quite original. So I'd literally, no word of a lie, been stayed like I'd stay up to about 4 in the morning in my house, and I was like crawling around on like all fours. So like when my kitchen is quite a big like empty space, so I
sure.
sort of crawled around, and I was actually recording stuff, and I was like sort of seeing what works, because we didn't really discuss what he was going to be like until we're on set. We kind of had some ideas, but I think we kind of Reese was waiting to get on set and then see what worked. So I was trying it all out. I was trying out like walking on 2 feet, on 4 feet, different noises, different accents, everything. And then also going to the gym a lot. So I was like trying to bulk up at the gym because they wanted him quite muscular. I've always gone to the gym, but I thought, right, in this month, I'm really going to try and cut down the junk food and really, hit the weights. So yeah, just stuff like that, really. Just and then had a good month for it, and I was really grateful for that time because I really like it. I needed it because by the time we got on set, I felt ready.
Oh
So yeah,
man, that is
sure.
so cool. I love it. Um,
Yeah.
let's see. I guess tell us a little bit about the costume itself, if you can. Like, how long did it take to go from, like you just walk in the door to
Yeah.
Tigger shooting ready?
Yeah,
What
yeah.
I
So it
mean?
took 2 hours in the prosthetics chair, so it wasn't too bad. And I think by the last day on set, it was like went down to about an hour and a half. So it wasn't too bad, to be fair. But I was very grateful for that time because like I'm quite a jokey person and I'm quite like energetic and bouncy. But like I'll sort of get on set and I'll chat to everyone and go, you're right, sort of making conversation. And then they would come up to me and be like, right, we're gonna start filming in a couple of hours, so we need you in the makeup chair. So I'd get in the makeup chair, and the reason why I was so grateful for that time is because you sort of use it to like transition from yourself into the character. And it's quite a hard thing to do because I feel like you obviously he's absolutely insane and he's completely sinister and deranged and so dark. And I'm not that person at all. So it was nice to have that time to sort of sit there. And the couple who did it at the prosthetic studio, they're just wonderful what they do. So they sort of were doing their thing, putting bits together on the face. And we would talk a little bit, but there were times it was just silence and I was just necking like monster energy. And I like kind of used heavy metal a lot for this character, listening to it a lot for that in that month. So I was sort of playing that over in my head. Do you know what I mean? And just trying to really get into that deranged sort of mindset. So then when the 2 hours were up and they were like, right, you ready? I then felt ready like mentally. So yeah, it was like as much as it sounded like a long time, I was grateful for it. That
Oh
makes sense.
man. So,
Yeah.
I mean, is it is it bad to say that you kind of steal the show from me, man? You know what I mean?
No, I mean I appreciate that. Thank you. I really appreciate that.
All right, cool. I didn't
I'm
know if
glad
it
you
was
think
bad
so.
to say or not because
No, no,
me and
no.
my wife, we discussed it after seeing it. We were like, we think that definitely stole it for us.
Oh, thank you, buddy. That really means a lot. Thank you. I feel like everyone obviously has like favorites. Like I know some people prefer like the other sort of monsters and the other like human characters. So it was obviously, so it means the world that you're saying that honestly,
Oh
because
yeah,
I had a
totally.
blast as well.
And what would you say was like your biggest challenge on the shoot?
Biggest challenge, I would say, I mean, it's quite a physical role, but like I've
Right.
sort of trained like for years doing stage combat and stuff and stunty sort of like that side of the industry. So I'm kind of used to that. So I think the biggest thing was probably the heat. I was so hot in those prosthetics. Like it was August and September in England, which is still quite cold at night, and obviously we're doing night shoots. So everyone else was like in their dry robes and they're freezing and stuff like that. But me, I was the other end of the spectrum. I was absolutely sweating because it is like a second layer of skin. So you're not, there's no, like, you can't breathe in there. It's not like your skin can't breathe. And because it's so physical, like I don't know if you remember some of the sequences, but when I, for example, kill the girl with the wings, I'm
Right,
just
right.
going absolutely crazy on her.
Yeah,
And
that's
the
so
way we'd film that, we'd just have a camera rolling and they'd just be shouting stuff out, going crazy, Lewis, like fuck her up. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. I'm just going absolutely crazy for like a minute. And I was going like obviously, and I was in the mind, I was in the headspace at this point, so I'm going crazy. And then once they go right, cut, and then that's it. You kind of come away, and you're like, well, I'm sweating now. So any minute I got, I was walking out of that warehouse, and I was like, obviously it's a straight jacket, so I was undoing it. And obviously the prosthetics come down to about here, so obviously it's just my
yeah.
bare skin, and I would sit there outside just like that, just trying to get as much air in there as possible.
Oh
Because
my.
I've just gone absolutely crazy on this girl, and I'm like dying from it.
Oh, I
Yeah,
love it, man. That's so cool.
yeah, no, it's cool.
All right, so I let me do one more. So I know that you're gonna be reprising the role, hopefully, in
Yeah,
Poohverse Monsters Assemble, right?
yeah, yeah. I'm coming back.
How do you think that Pooh will change? Any hopes?
How Pooh will change?
No, how would Tigger change
I'll take a
in
change.
this new
I think,
monsterverse, Poohverse?
yeah, I think obviously I'm spoiling the film a bit here by saying this, but obviously, as we know, Pooh sort of has like a moment of remembering his past in this film. And Owl's obviously very wise and he understands what's happened and stuff. And Piglet's also pretty much the most violent one of the group. He's actually quite a vulnerable character. So I feel like all of them guys have potential to sort of change in their ways a little bit. Obviously, we saw it with Pooh at the end. But with Tigger, I feel like he's that kind of character. He's so set in his way. Like he is so deranged. He's crazier than the other guys. He's like the mad dog of the family. He's kept in the cage until the end for a reason because they're like, yeah, he's too much for us. And I feel like he's that kind of character that will never come out of that. Like he'll never. He's set in his way. He'll never come out of like what he loves doing, and that's killing. If that makes sense. I just
Yeah,
think honestly,
totally.
yeah. I think it gets crazier from here because I feel like he's been so cooped up in that cage and he's not seen daylight for so long. He's now come out at the end of this film, had a little taste of blood. So I think if anything's going to change, I think it's just going to get crazier and crazier and crazier as it goes on. Now he's got all this free space to roam around on and more people to kill. He's just going to
Oh,
go more sinister, I think. And like me and Reese were discussing it as well the other day, and we were saying how we want him to like eat more in the future. I know it's such a small little detail, but just we like he uses his claws a lot. He obviously eats eyeballs. We want him to like to become almost more animalistic in the next couple of films. And he's a tiger. He gets hungry. He needs to eat. He has prey, so he needs to use those teeth more. So we've been talking and saying we want him to eat a lot more flesh and just do a lot more stuff with his mouth, and
oh
that'll be
my
cool.
God, that's gonna be crazy, man. I can't wait.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy. Yeah,
All right, well, listen, I really appreciate the time, man. It's been a
yeah.
real
Thanks, buddy.
pleasure, and hopefully we'll chat again soon. All right.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. You got my contact details, so yeah, sort that
All
out.
right, man. I appreciate it. Thanks.
Thank you.